the final seat in the U.S. Senate.
We've actually already had 80,000 people that voted in this runoff that didn't vote in the fall at all.
Gets decided today. More state money available this morning.
Florida will be providing up to $25 million
for Hurricane Ian victims. And out-of-the-closet artists.
We don't just have to wait for Pride Month to get curated into a show.
Stealing the show at Art Basel. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Amanda Gray.
I'm Samantha Gutierrez. Today is Tuesday, December 6th of 2022.
Live from the South Florida Media Network's Biscayne-based studios in North Miami, this is SFMN Newsbreak.
Decision day in a runoff election between an NFL Hall of Famer and one of the men who swung the Senate for Democrats 2 years ago. Neither Herschel Walker nor Raphael Warnock got the 50% necessary to win last month's midterm election.
But as CNN's Amy Kiley reports, today's vote in Georgia will determine who's going to Washington.
Call 10 of your friends to go vote.
Call your father and your mother, your sister and your brother.
The Georgia Senate runoff election is today, and the candidates are making a final push to get their supporters to the polls. Incumbent Senator Raphael Warnock has been focusing on young adults.
They keep me inspired, they keep me on my toes, and I'm proud of the ways in which the young people all over Georgia are showing up.
Republican challenger Herschel Walker has been stumping in rural Georgia.
You will always have a champion in me because I love you all and we're going to win.
Early voting set a new single-day record last week, and the Georgia Secretary of State predicts strong turnout again today.
We've actually already had 80,000 people that voted in this runoff that didn't vote in the fall at all. So that's what you're really seeing is people that were kind of sitting back and watching things are getting engaged in this race.
Today's election has national implications. If Walker wins, the Senate and its committees will be evenly split. If Warnock wins, Democrats will lead committees and have a vote to spare.
My focus is why people in both parties are not screaming from the mountaintops as to how important this race is.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
This morning, the FBI director has doubled down on his concerns surrounding the social media platform TikTok. As the network's Elizabeth Garcia reports, he believes the app poses a serious threat to the U.S. national security.
Sounding the alarm on TikTok, the FBI's director is cautioning the social media platform is a national security threat.
The Chinese government has shown a willingness to steal Americans' data on a scale that dwarfs any other.
While speaking at the University of Michigan, FBI Director Christopher Wray said the video sharing app, which is owned by Chinese company ByteDance, is collecting data from U.S. users for spying purposes and could gain access to your device through software. He also warns the Chinese government could manipulate content on the app with its recommendation algorithm.
All of these things are in the hands of a government that doesn't share our values.
Last month, the FCC commissioner also called for a nationwide TikTok ban, and earlier this year urged Apple and Google to remove it from their app stores. And last week, South Dakota's governor banned state employees from using the app on government devices. Experts recommend you think twice before downloading it on your phone.
You have a Chinese-owned app that has incredible AI. It's very, very addictive.
Political risk consultant Ian Brennan says the U.S. will likely take a more cautious approach and says he doesn't expect the U.S. government to suddenly ban TikTok nationally.
The U.S. wants to go after issues that are of direct national security concern to the United States, like advanced semiconductors used by the military-industrial complex in China.
For the South Florida Media Network, I'm Elizabeth Garcia.
Damage from Hurricane Ian is still being felt by Floridians on the southwest coast, but a new announcement brings hope to those in need of repairs. Yesterday in Naples, Governor Ron DeSantis announced that up to $25 million in state funding and donations will go towards repairing homes damaged by the September hurricane. This money will be used to purchase sanitizing products, concrete, doors, windows, and more. Governor DeSantis says the goal is to move Floridians back into their homes.
Florida will be providing up to $25 million through state funds to purchase building materials and provide those materials to verified nonprofit organizations to restore damaged homes to livable conditions so that Floridians can move back into their own homes.
These funds will also go towards food assistance, clothing, housing aid, and other needs.
A desperate search for survivors this morning after 34 people were killed in a landslide. On Sunday, a heavy rainfall near Bogota, Colombia triggered a landfall that hit several cars. More than 70 workers are still attempting to secure the area, while at least 6 people have been treated in hospitals. The British royal family is in damage control mode this morning after the release of a trailer for the docuseries by the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Titled Harry and Meghan, the emotional 2-part docuseries plans to highlight the Duke and Duchess's early relationship and controversies that caused them to part from the royal family. Part 1 hits the streaming service on Thursday. The Heat, although coming off a big win in Boston, took an unbearable loss in Memphis as Miami got mauled by the Grizzlies. The Miami Heat had a 5-point lead at the end of the first quarter. Memphis came out of hibernation in the second half, and the Heat just could not keep up. The final score was Heat 93, Grizzlies 101. The Heat come home to play against the Detroit Pistons today at 7:30 p.m.
An ATM in South Florida where your balance is not kept a secret.
That's still ahead, and so is this story.
I'm really excited about shows like this, that we don't just have to wait for Pride Month to get curated into a show.
Some of the world's best LGBTQ+ artists take over Miami Beach Hotel for an unforgettable exhibit. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
There are a lot of ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Bill is a family man. He invests his money wisely and provides a good life for his children. Just one problem. He often opens emails from senders he doesn't know, and his computer is not password protected. One day, Bill checked his bank account and 94% of malware attacks originate from emails. Don't be like Bill. Take your cybersecurity seriously.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Expressing yourself, it's a big part of art. And nowhere was that more true than at an exhibit on Miami Beach, especially for LGBTQ+ artists.
The network's Kenya Cardone takes us inside.
It's been yet another successful Miami Art Week, and no, we're not at Art Basel, we're actually at Art Gazel, where there are over 31 rooms filled with incredible art pieces. And although we can't show you all of the art pieces, what you will see is what the LGBTQ artists are all about. Also known as, quote, Miami's queerest art fair, Art Gazel took Lincoln Road's hotel gathering and transformed it into a scenic, multi-gallery art extravaganza. The 7th edition of the fair featured LGBTQ artists from all around the globe. Over the years, it has grown to be a popular space focused on LGBTQ artists to showcase their passions and their stories.
I'm really excited about shows like this, that we don't just have to wait for Pride Month to get curated into a show, right? Like, there's people that are committed to amplifying the voices of LGBTQ artists.
When you took a step into a room, you were met with an experience completely different from the last. Each artist had total creative freedom in setting up their gallery, some even choosing to tickle your senses with music, colorful lights, and great smells. Besides taking in the view of beautiful art pieces, guests also had the opportunity to purchase them and speak with the artists personally.
Well, for me, what is very important, what I do, I really like to portray or to kind of make like a queer imagery of something that I would have liked to see myself when I was a queer kid.
Well, that's a wrap on Miami Art Week. If you want to get a closer glimpse at some of the Art Gazel pieces, go ahead and visit our website, sfmn.fiu.edu. In Miami Beach, I'm Kenya Cardone, South Florida Media Network.
Imagine an ATM that sees everyone's bank account and displays the top balance of users. That's what one machine did at Miami's Art Basel. The Brooklyn Art Collective Mischief made this special ATM, which lists the highest balances of users on a leaderboard. The highest balance it recorded was $9.5 million.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Samantha Gutierrez.
I'm Amanda Gray. Get more news anytime at sfmn.fiu.edu.